For you out in virtual land, welcome to Spirit Seeker 2023 at Stratford-upon-Avon. And we've had a lovely weekend here so far. It's been raining, it's been sunny, it's been raining, it's been sunny. Typical British autumn. But we've had a great time, and now we've got our Sunday service, which is something quite traditional here, so one of the only things that doesn't really change. We've also got two wonderful mediums here with us today. Clarke, where's Deb? There you are. And Mary Wald, ladies and gentlemen. And at the very end of the service, Ashley's going to be doing an naming service, which everybody's invited to stay and watch. And I thank again SPTV for helping us out over the weekend here. So, shall we start? I'll ask Mary to open our meeting with prayer.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Stratford, welcome to Wimbledon Sunday service. Can I ask you to take a deep breath and just enjoy the space? Close your eyes. Heavenly Father, Divine Spirit, as we open our service this morning, we ask that all our loved ones, family and friends from the realms of spirit join us also. We ask, dear Father, that in our war-torn world, that you help send all that lovely, lovely healing and love to places like Israel, those that are really in need, those who are in danger, Palestine, Israel, Egypt, all the floods, all the earthquakes. There is so much going on in our world, so we need to share our love, and please, we need to send so much healing. At this time also, we think of those closer to our hearts who are also suffering, those on beds of sickness, those who are emotionally or physically unable to cope. We ask for those who are lonely. We ask for those who are homeless. We ask for our animal kingdom because they give us so much unconditional love. We also ask for Mother Earth because she still continues to provide for us always. And please, dear Father, as we open this service, we ask that the two worlds meet and we leave this service in your most capable hands. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Holly, we'd like to lead us with the healing moments, please.
I will. Good morning, everybody. I don't usually see auras, but there's one big aura, and it's like the letter 8, and we're all magically in tune, which would only happen on an evening like this, or a day like this. It wouldn't. You need a microphone. I've never needed a microphone in my life, sir. You heard me without one at the back, didn't you?
People at the back will say the same.
Right, I want to share a poem with you that we read. It's a Hopi poem, one of many at my husband's funeral. 300 people there, and I think it took nearly an hour. We had to do a double slot and Ray did it, and I ended up beating the drum, I think, or something, didn't I? I wasn't meant to beat a drum, but he did the flute and I did the drum, which was the right way round. An amazing medium who's no longer one, called Les Green. Right, so if we just want to go into a state of prayer. Talking about healing minutes, I used to do the one that the Buddhists or the Hindus do at 9 or 10 o'clock at night. You can technically do it at 8 or 10, because somewhere in the world it's 9 o'clock. And that used to be the most powerful moment of my day. And the prayer is, O great Spirit, whose voice I hear in the winds, whose breath gives me life to all the world, hear me. I am so very small and weak. I need your strength and your wisdom. Let me walk in the beauty and make my eyes ever behold the reds and purple sunsets. Make my hand respect all the things that you have made and I have made, and my ears be sharp to hear your voice. Make me be wise that I may understand the things that you have taught me and my people. Let me learn lessons under every hidden leaf and every rock. I seek strength, not to be greater than my brother, but to fight my greatest enemy, my mental inner self. Make me always ready to come to you with clean hands and straight eyes, so that when life fades like the fading sunset, my spirit may come to you without any guilt, harm, or injury. God bless you all.
Friends, I'm going to have a short few words here. The power of the Spirit is life. The reason why there is life is because Spirit is there. The power that fashioned the whole universe, majestic through its and stupendously vast empire, it is there. The power of Spirit is there for everybody. Somebody on Friday asked me, how long have you been in spiritualism? Are you new? And I said, no, I've entered Spiritualist Church at the age of 11. And I sat in circle at the age of 11. And I was giving messages at about 11 and a half, 12. And spiritualism just fits me. It's perfect for me. Because I know that there is no death. I know life is continuing. When that great man on the table there, my dad, Pastor Spirit, somebody said, you're not upset or anything. I said, well, first time in my life, I know where he is every day. He's not out ducking and diving and doing things. I know where he is. And that man has done so much, in my opinion, for spiritualism. He helped create these weekends.
20 years ago?
20 years, Ash?
20 years ago.
20 years.
We were arguing between 17 and 20.
It is important because my dad felt that we needed to bring spiritualism back to people, because not everybody wants to go into a spiritualist church. Some of you know Wimbledon quite well. Ivan Lee does readings on a Wednesday. And one of his last sitters last Wednesday came in and we sat her down. I said, you okay? She said, no, I'm terrified. What's going to happen? And I said, nothing. Ivan was just talking. She said, I'm so scared. She said, I had to go and have a pint before coming here.
Oh, no.
I said, what is it? I said, truly, I said, the people that you're looking to communicate, were you scared of them in life? Well, no. Mum and Dad, I said, well, why should you be scared now? I'm scared of the unknown. I said, there's no unknown with life continuing. They are truly there, always, sharing our lives and being aware. I don't often hear from my dad and my mum. My mum's not up here because my mum wouldn't have liked the picture up there. But Dad would.
Yes.
He would have
want
liked
a bigger
that.
one.
Yeah, he probably would, actually. He's probably annoyed that it's not up there on the screen.
Yes, absolutely.
But all jokes aside, spiritualism has changed a great deal since I first came in 1971. Mediumship slightly different. But one of the first things we learnt in Circle, and Rosie will back me up on this, we learnt how we were to serve people, how service was the byword of our classes. We weren't to have ego, and our Circle leaders soon knocked the ego out of you if you got it.
Definitely.
Publicly, not quietly, publicly. And if they thought you were getting big for your boots, they'd stop you. I remember a wonderful story. Gordon Higginson was a teenager, and he went up on platform. He wasn't doing a very good job, and his mother walked in. She said, "Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to apologise for my son," and took him off. And I've seen Gordon do the same with some of his students. And Gordon, they said to you can't take me off. He said, if my mother can do it to me, I can do it to you. And my dad, those of you who knew Wimbledon Church very well, if he wasn't happy with what the mediumship was, he had a red light flashing. And if you saw the red light flashing, you had to get off. And if you didn't, he left the light on. And I've actually seen him go up to people saying, you need to come off now. Because what Dad didn't like with spiritualism was mediums trying to make a mockery of what we believe in and how we believe and understand it. I only trained a few people in my years as a healer or as a medium. And one of my students, for want of a word, was a lovely lady called Jill Hay. She trained along with Christine and Mary. But Jill took no prisoners either. And she would tell Ashley if she didn't think he was working right. I know Mary's done the same, and I know Christine did the same. And the important thing is when we're giving messages out in spiritualist meetings, It's got to be ones of truth. It's got to be ones of messages of comfort. It's got to be messages that give you an understanding that they're just not in another dimension. And I know there's people here today that love having a message nearly every time they're at a service. And that's okay. But I had my message at the age of 11, 12. And the rest has been the icing on the cake. We need to go out from this weekend, or from our churches when we go back home, and take our message out. I used to work for the civil service. I never hid the fact that I was a spiritualist minister, medium and healer.
Which got you into prison.
Yeah, well, it got me into prison a few times. It's another story. But we must never hide our light. We need to share our truths. We need to share what we understand to be correct within our spiritualism. My spiritualism may differ from Ashley's and his mum's. But what matters is that we're spiritualists. What matters is that we have this knowledge and understanding of continuing life. But spiritualism is more than that. It's far more than just getting a message and knowing mum and dad are okay. It is how you change your life around. How we tried then to spiritualize mankind into action, into purpose. And it's bringing that into realization and into reality. A lot of people, over the years that I've known in my 50 odd years in spiritualism, they come to church, they enjoy church, but it's interesting that when time comes for them to pass, their loved one has said, oh no, we'll have a Church of England service. We're deep down at heart with Church of England. I don't know how people can say that, because we're spiritualists, and we should be proud to be spiritualists. We should be proud of our testimony in spirit. In a teaching of St. Paul, he tells his student Timothy that when your preaching goes out of season, bring it back into season. Never be afraid of your testimony. Never be ashamed of your testimony and what you believe in. And sometimes we are as spiritualists. We had a big drive on a few years ago where we said to people, you need to book your spiritualist funeral. And there's a few people at church have done that. They've written forms out and passed it over and left them with their last will and testaments and things like that. But I've also spoken to spiritualists lately where they said, I'd love a spiritualist funeral, Ray, but I'm not allowed to. My family won't have it.
Yeah.
I said, well, tell them. Oh, no, I don't want to upset them when I'm gone. I said, then haunt them when you're gone. Terrify them. Ashley and I were out Thursday night at a Masonic meeting, and we were talking in the car, and Ashley said to me, this is funny, Dad. He said, one of the only radio stations I don't really listen to is Radio 2. And he said, and I think somehow or other, Granddad's messing around with the radio. And Dad's got a very old car, to be honest, but Ashley still got it going. And then suddenly there's a DJ called Bob Harris on, and he was playing country music, and that was the favourite station of my dad. And Ashley said, I keep putting it on Kiss FM or whatever, and it keeps coming back to this Radio 2. I said, well, that's what what Granddad wants you to listen to. And someone said to me the other day, is your dad active? Does he do things? Now, those of you who knew me dad well, he would go out in the supermarket in his wheelchair sometimes, Ashley or Jackie or me pushing it, and he'd shout out, Harry, you all right, mate? Good on you. So I was sitting out in the armchair the other day, and little Oscar, who's only 18 months, Ashley's youngest, he suddenly came in and went, Granddad, Harry! I went, oh, okay. And he pointed out to the hallway, and I said, oh, it's my dad, is it? And he didn't say nothing to that. But we try, in a very subtle way, to show the way of spiritualism and life after death. Ashley said he's had some fantastic theological discussions with Ethan when they're in the hot tub. Ethan will come up with these ideas and thoughts and how he tries to get his dad to understand him and vice versa. And we need to just give out our messages, our understanding. God, great spirit, divine, great architect of the universe, however you describe that personality, That's fine. But don't be ashamed of that. Don't be embarrassed by that. We at Wimbledon Church, it's gone. We're very proud of our building. We've got a lovely stained glass window. It's going to cost me £8,000 to repair it, but that's beside the point. But it's a wonderful feeling to go into that church when it's empty. And you don't see things, don't hear things, but you feel the essence of the silence that's in that building when it's empty. And I have memories back to all the older people that used to come there, and it's just so nice. And the same with Hatbridge Church. So Hatbridge, we're doing other things at the moment. But the point is, with our religion and our way of life, we've got to keep it going. That is why Jackie and Julie have been doing a lot on the history of our pioneers, because we forget our pioneers. We forget what the Fox sisters went through to bring our message to truth. We forget what Emma Hargreaves Britten had to go through from the States coming to England, how they were persecuted. Even up to the 40s and 50s, it was illegal to have a mediumistic meeting in a church or a centre. And we have to remember that Helen Duncan went to prison for what she believed and practiced. And when her defence barrister said to her, Miss Duncan's happy to go into trance and show you that she's not faking, and the judge said, well, I don't disbelieve what she's doing, but she just shouldn't be doing it.
Not about the war.
Because it was giving out information of people, a son who had passed on a battleship. And she went to prison for 18 months. And you can't imagine that of today, where people freely give their messages. In my very early days of spiritualism, there was a wonderful couple of mediums, Fred Reynolds and Albert Hudson. They come and see us in our shop in Brixton. And both of them will start giving messages to my customers as I'm serving them. And my customers were predominantly West Indian and West African. And they thought they were some sort of witch doctor. See?
That's your dad again.
And all jokes aside, it was funny watching their faces and their reactions. And one of them, Albert Hudson, he would juggle the fruit and veg that I was selling. And while he's juggling, he was giving messages out and all. But he was known as the local milkman. He actually played trumpet in a couple of Pentecostal churches in Brixton as well back in the day. When Gabriel would blow his horn, and he reenacted Gabriel blowing his horn in his churches. Friends, from this day forth, go out on your own individual mission. Share the knowledge and truth that you have as spiritualists. Bring that knowledge and truth that you have, if it's in centres, in churches, in pubs even. Sometimes there's meetings going on nowadays. Great how you spread the message. The light that spiritualism offers to this world, and especially now what's going on in the world, we need that light. We need that truth. In 1941, December 41, Wimbledon Spiritualist Church, 3/4 of the church was bombed and destroyed. It was rubble. But in the crater where the bomb had originally fell, the Bible was on the lectern, the cross was standing upright, and the two brass candlesticks, which we still got, and the cross and the Bible, were either side of the Bible. And the then president, Jim Blackman, vice president, saw that as a sign of resurrection, rebirth, rebuild. And that's what we have to go through ourselves. So take your spiritualism, find your truth, evangelize your spiritualism and your truth. Take it out, not just in your spiritualist classes, circles, tea groups. Take it out to everyone. You might get arrested for talking about life after death at the bus stop, but hey ho, go for it.
Well, way to go.
Go for it. For God said, in strength, I would establish this mine house to stand firm forever. We are a temple. We are a vassal for that truth. And we need to share it and spread it. May God give you the strength to do that. May the great architect of the universe bless you in all your undertakings. And may you find peace. because there is a peace of God that passes all understanding. It keeps our hearts and minds in the knowledge of love of God and the teachings of the Spirit. Take those teachings, take that light, and go forth upon your mission. God bless you all, seen and unseen. So, now hand over to our mediums that are going to demonstrate. Thank you. Ladies and gentlemen, Mary and Deb.
Good morning again. Okay, I don't know where I'm going. I've got to come to, I saw the lady, right, I'm coming to the lady at the back. I'm sorry I don't know your name. You've got glasses and a grey top on, and she's in front of you, Shaz. Yes. Hello. As I come to you, my lovely, I've just got to come to you because I know that you're a bit confused. I feel that you've learnt an awful lot this weekend and you knew before you came exactly what you wanted to do and where you wanted to be. But I have a lady joining me, and as she joins me, she's making me feel very, very breathless. So I do want to say that she had a respiratory problem, and it was the respiratory problem that took her to the world of spirit. I do know that this lady is family because she's drawing very close to you. I do feel that you've questioned yourself. Would that be correct, ma'am? Yeah, I've got to say to you, no, you know, you're doing exactly what you need to be doing right at this moment. And it's all about the now. It's not about what went before. What went before you can't change, but you can change what's coming. And I've also got to say to you that don't worry about the finances, because I feel that there's something financial around you that you are a little bit perturbed about, and they are saying it will be fine. So you've got the faith, now have the trust. Say God bless you.
I'm quick. Really quick. Me, I was just saying to him, I don't know where I'm going. I'm going to that lady over there that's looking at me with the beige. That's it. Coming to you, mum with me. Okay, mum wants to talk to you. First thing she's saying is the month of January means something to you, so that'll be an anniversary, birthday or passing. And also April, she says, will mean something to you as well. Is it coming through on this mic? Because it's not, is it? Because I'm having to shout. But anyway, the month of April means something to you as well, she's talking about. The first thing she's talking about, is it on? It's me, isn't it? Oh, I don't know. Is it all right, Rich? Okay. Rich, I'm going to get told off now because I called him that. Sorry. Oh. There are many blokes fiddling with me, makes a nice change.
You've been manhandled by Ashley.
I've gone to pieces now. I don't know what to say. Anyway, lovely mum, coming to you. April, she says, means something to you. She's talking about you need a little bit of healing, so she wants to give you some healing. She's going down your hips and she's going down your legs as well. Thank you for talking to me, she says, so you send up your prayers to her. Thank you for talking to me, but you also talk to your nan as well, and your nan wants to say hello as well. There's a gentleman in spirit called John who wants to say hello to you as well. And also Thomas, or Tom in spirit, wants to say hello to you as well. Hold on to them. Your mum's talking about a new baby coming around you, so watch for the new baby. She says there are twins in your family as well. And she says there is a twin set in spirit as well. Okay. She's also talking about a relationship around you that's having a few issues that she's talking about. And she just says to me, if I was here, I'd be down banging their heads together to sort it out, because she's just said to me, in her time, we were married for a long time, you know what I mean? There's no patience nowadays, she's saying, there's no patience. And with the no patience, she wants to go on to, because she's saying, there's no patience, is there? She says, you need a little bit of patience, and it's how she's saying, you need a bit of patience. She's been watching you as you've been in front of the mirror, doing something or complaining about wrinkles or something like that, and she's been watching you and having a bit of a giggle. Why don't she put her hair down, she's saying, why don't she put her hair down? She's always got it straight back, she's always got it straight back. She's talking about somebody spraying hairspray as well to keep it in its place, she's saying, because she's standing behind them and she's getting a rush of this hairspray. So she's having a bit of a giggle. Also, George wants to be remembered to you as well, George in spirit. You've got an army connection somewhere, because they're talking about a military connection, but also an RAF connection as well, they're telling me, in the spirit world, going back a little bit. Somebody used to back on their horses as well from spirit. He wants to say, I used to back the horses, I used to back the horses. And there's a gentleman here that used to have a pipe as well that wants to say hello to you. He used to have a pipe. He comes around you quite a lot, this gentleman, so if you smell pipe smoke, you should know directly who it is. In fact, he lights his pint as well. Now, he wants me to give you a pint of Guinness. Now, sometimes it's symbolic for me as well, in that Guinness has got loads of iron in it, hasn't it? So they're talking about tiredness, you know what I mean? Also, back to your mum. Put your feet up, she's saying. Put them feet up. Lift them up, she's saying. Lift them up a little bit, you know. Relax. Try and get... She just said to me, relax. She's always on her feet. She's always gadding about. She needs to calm down and relax. And she's made me do that. Calm down, relax. Do you remember that budgie, she says? Do you remember that budgie that used to fly around like this? There's one in spirit. She's bringing a budgie that used to fly around like this. Also, there's a tortoise in spirit as well that somebody used to have. So there's a tortoise, and there's also a little... Henry wants to say hello to you as well. There's also a lovely collie dog that comes around you that's just shot its way down there and comes around you as well. Just remember, you'll remember all these animals. Your mum obviously knows what's going on. Before she goes, she just wanted... Her words are, before I go, I've just come just to say hello, she's saying. I just wanted to say hello and let you know that I am listening. You don't have to shout. So I don't know if you've been shouting, Ella. You don't have to shout. I am listening. And I'm sending all my love. Keep talking to me. And Margaret wants to say hello as well from Spirit. Okay.
I'm coming to the lady here, if I may. Is that all right? I do feel that you're getting a bit agitated with yourself because you can't do physically as quickly what you used to, and it's called getting older, and I know the feeling. All right. I have a gentleman coming around you, and as the gentleman comes, he's coming with a very, very soft, gentle energy. Quite a tall man, quite a slim man, a very intelligent man. He would have had his faculties with him right until the end. I feel a lot of love from this man to you. He's talking about jewellery. Would you understand jewellery that you have been sorting out recently or giving away or whatever? Yeah. And also, my lovely, he's saying, don't worry about legs, you know. It happens to us all, but we just have to be a bit patient, and then once we've accepted, we can just rest and then carry on, all right? So please don't worry about that. I've got Margaret or Peggy in the world of spirit. I've also got Daniel. But I don't know whether Daniel's up there or down here, so I'll be honest about that. Also, my lovely, I've got to give you this, it's almost like take a breath, you know, because there's a lot going on around you, and it's sort of like all buzzing around your head. I know you've got lots of emotions at the moment, but you are sorting it very, very gently, very, very calmly, and that's why he's come, really just to acknowledge that he's there, he's helping, and he's doing. I know that you talk to him, or you talk to the spirit world, and I know that when we ask them to come, they will deliver. So we just have to have that 100% trust, all right? But his message to you very much today is slowly does it. So please take his love. I say God bless you. It's done enough on you, right?
I'm all right.
Yeah.
I'm just talking to... I've got a lovely dad here, but I don't know where he wants to go, and I keep saying to him, where are you going? But he's annoyed. He's looking for his daughter. Where are you going? I don't know where I'm going. If I explain, I'm over this side somewhere. I've got a lovely dad in... That lady there with the coat, have you got a dad in spirit?
I have.
Right, okay, then I'm coming to you then. He's just gone, boom. A lovely dad in spirit. And what he's doing, he's complaining at the moment. Not about you, but he's complaining about you being taken advantage of by other people. Okay? I'm with you then. All right. The first thing he's doing then, he just wants to make a note that he thinks you're being taken advantage of, because he's just said to me she's got a lovely soft heart and she lets people take advantage, and I'm not happy. He's saying, no, I'm not happy. It's like this is almost boxing. So I think there must be a link somewhere to boxing, and somebody must have liked boxing as well. He says, I'll tell you what, he's talking to me now, he's just said to me, I'll tell you what I'll do, Deb, I'll box their ears, I'll box their ears. So he's very protective. He's protective, he says, because he doesn't want you feeling under the weather. You know, he's talking about feeling under the weather. Also, you need a bit of iron. He's just describing you as a little bit tired and a little bit run down. So he's sending you some healing. Oh, she's been talking about me recently. She says she's been talking about me recently. So he knows that you've been chatting about him. Speaking to another lady, he's just said to me, you've been speaking to another lady about him. Oh, you take after me with your good looks, he's just said. So he's having a bit of a giggle. He says, she takes after me with my good looks, he's saying. Now, you've got an RAF connection somewhere, he tells me as well. So he's also talking about somebody that's looking into the past. So somebody's going to be interested in the family tree. He's bringing that around you as well. I'm looking for a scarf. Symbolic for me. He wants me to give you a scarf. I usually take it from somebody, give it to you, because he's talking about there's somebody around you at the moment that you could quite happily strangle sometimes. On the nerves a little bit, and he's acknowledging that, having a bit of a giggle. Now the budgie that I give to the lady behind you has come around you. So your dad's talking about a budgie that's in spirit as well, and the budgie belonged to somebody. This is turning into symbolic by the look of it. The budgie belongs to somebody that looked after it well and covered it at night. Okay, he's turning it into symbolic because he's talking about it's a bit like you're stuck in this cage, you know what I mean? You're stuck at this cage and your dad's taking this cover off and he's opening the door and he's letting you fly. I don't usually do philosophy type things, I'm rubbish at it, but your dad's really good. But he's letting the budgie fly, and this is for you. Okay, he thinks that you need to, his words are, get on your dancing shoes, he's saying. Go out and enjoy yourself. Now, with the dancing, there is a link in your family to dancing as well. Somebody that liked to dance. But not only the waltzing, because I was about to waltz, he's talking about rock and roll as well. He's talking about the rock and roll. And he's actually showing me the jiving where they used to chuck them over the shoulders, that type of dance, you know what I mean? He's having a laugh. I watch you, he says. I watch you singing round the living room, he says.
I do.
You know, like...
now we all know.
You know, like Mrs. Doubtfire with the Hoover? He's doing that type of thing. He says, I watch her. She's got a lovely voice, you know. She's got a lovely voice. These are his words, by the way. I'm just repeating them. She's got a lovely voice. She needs to go on Britain's Got Talent. You want to listen. It's just gone to everybody. You want to listen. She's got a lovely voice. Linda down here, do you know where Linda is?
I do, yes.
She needs a little bit of healing. Okay, he's just said, I've been to see Linda. She needs a little bit of healing. He's just saying that I'm aware of somebody that's gone to visit a grave recently.
Yes.
All right, okay. Also, at one stage, somebody put daffodils on this grave as well, and he wants to say thank you for the daffodils. He's also thanking somebody for a candle. Somebody lit a candle as well. There's a lot of activity going around in your house, spiritual activity where they're trying to let you know they're around. Okay? I was just going to say, things are being moved,
yes.
So watch for the moving of things, but also your dad is quite capable of turning the lights on. Mm-hmm. All right, so watch for that as well. He says, well, I like to show her I'm around, don't I? He's saying, I like to show her I'm around. He's saying, I also almost want to speak in a London accent like the lads here, because he's talking about there is a London connection in your family as well. And there is an Irish link as well somewhere in your family, your dad's saying. Before he goes, he wants to link you with Spain. So there's something going on with Spain, like somebody's going over there. He's talking about that. Something nice coming up for you, he says. Something nice coming up for you. I can see you crossing dates off a calendar, looking for looking forward to summer. Month of September will mean something to you as well, and he says July as well. And he says there are, Margaret in spirit and also Marjorie in spirit as well, and also a Bet as well. He's just come, he says, just to let you know I'm around. I don't know if you called him Pop, I want to say Pop. He's telling me, hang on. I thought he meant he was calling himself Pop. You remember, you know those things used to wind up and it goes Pop the Weasel and it comes out the top? He's doing that, so there must be a memory of that, one of those, and also the memory of a musical box with a ballerina on the top that he wants to hand to you. Just keep... Tracy down here, do you know where the Tracy is?
I do know.
Watch for the link then, there's going to be some sort of communication between you and Tracy. Before he just says, I just want to pop in just to let her know I'm still here. Just to let her know I'm still here. And before he goes, because it's quite funny, your dad, he wants to say to everybody, be aware, we are watching. And he's ending like this, be aware, we are watching, but he's giggling. So I'll leave his love, he wants me to blow your kisses, so I'll go blow your kiss. Okay?
I'd like to come to my lady next to Carol. So you're in between Mary Dixie and, yes, hello. I'm sorry I don't know your name, but I was just drawn to you. I do feel that there's been an emotional roller coaster recently. Does that make sense to you? Just say yes or no. Yes. I'm not going to go into it too much, but that's what he brings first and foremost. As I link with you, I have a gentleman coming in, and this gentleman is quite well rounded. He's got a lovely smile. He would have loved to have a joke with you. I just want to say it's okay, it's okay, it's okay, all right? So I've got to get that off my chest. I've also got to give you Peter in the world of spirit, yeah? And he draws very, very close at this moment. He's also giving me tableware. So would you understand somebody buying new tableware or looking at new tableware, crockery? Yeah, you can understand that. Also, he gives me a lovely dog coming in for you. And I've got to say, dogs are around you. So there's a lot in spirit, but there's one in particular that is coming very, very close to you this time, saying thank you, thank you, thank you. So I know the vet bills were quite extreme, but I've got to say that, you know, he's very grateful that you spent that money. But he was a good pet and, you know, part of the family, as always. He also gives me somebody on the earth who's coughing, and, you know, I felt that it was a sore throat, but I feel it's COVID. Would you understand that around you at the moment? You're not sure? Okay, well, it's like a sore throat, but it could be a sore throat, or it could, you've got it, okay? I felt it might be COVID rather than a sore throat, because they're now giving me that peculiar feeling, all right? Also, my lovely, would you understand somebody on the earth who is suffering at the moment with breast cancer? Had breast, okay, that's fine, because I know they haven't completed their journey yet. But I do feel that it will be fine. I mean, touch wood, I had mine 8 years ago, I'm still here to tell the tale. It is about positivity, so if you can pass that positivity on to her, that would be absolutely fine. Also, my lovely, would you understand somebody's suffering with their eyes? Because, I know I've got to send healing for eyes, all right? And also, I've got to say, you're wearing your hair longer, and he's quite amused about that, so I don't know what that joke is. But he's also saying, come on, it's time for you. It's time for you. So there's something around you at the moment that you need to get to grips with and put it in place, you know. We all put things on the shelf and say, maybe in a while, but it's now, and it's got to be now. So good luck with that. I know it'll be a success. Take his love. God bless.
You know what? A lot of the time I go direct, but I'm having trouble tonight going direct for some unknown reason. But this is
because it's the morning.
There's a reason. You know, you're miles away. You're miles away when you're up here. Don't make any difference to me. But I've got a lovely daughter here that wants to speak to her mum, and I think why she's giving me trouble, and I know I'm going over this end. So I've got a lovely daughter here that wants to speak to her mum. But she's talking about, like, a mum is a bit quiet, I think, and a bit shy, and she doesn't know whether a mum is going to say hello to us. So if there's somebody over this side that can take a daughter in spirit, anybody? Rightio. You very quiet, are you? Usually. No. It's as if she's sitting there saying to me, oh, will she kind of, you know, like some people don't like to own up to things, you know what I mean? And she's giving me that impression. But anyway, she wants to talk to you. Okay, so I've got a lovely daughter. The first thing she's mentioning, though, is she knows of Joyce. The name Joyce will mean something to you as well. And also Bill will mean something to you as well. Now, she's talking about, I just want to make sure I'm with you. She talks about the month of July means something to you, and also August will mean something to you as well. And she's talking about tears that have been shed recently. Tears that have been shed. I don't want people to shed tears, she's saying. I don't want people to shed tears. I want people to be I want people to be happy, she's saying. I want people to be happy. That's why she's repeating. She's also on hands like this. So watch my hands, because I do all sorts with my hands. Usually relates to you or them up there. But she's talking about, I want people to be happy, she says. Christmas is going to be nice, isn't it? She's saying. Christmas is going to be nice. You're going to get some invites, she's saying. More than one. She's saying, you might have to do that thing, these are hers, while you go for one dinner, then you rush on to the next dinner to keep people happy. It's all about keeping people happy at the moment, isn't it? She's saying, all about keeping people happy. The name Mary will mean something to you as well. She's talking about Mary. There's a new child coming around you as well. And she's actually said, they usually say a baby, but she hasn't made. There's a new child coming around you, so watch for the new baby coming. She's also made me bite my tongue. Do you bite your tongue a lot? Tell me if you don't, because it's either one way or the other with me. It's symbolic, or it's you biting your tongue. The reason she's told me it, somebody's got a habit of biting their tongue, okay, quite hard. But also, it's that you've got to bite your tongue and not say something. You know what I mean? Keep stum, she's saying, keep stum. There's something going on around you where you're going to have to remain quiet, she's saying. Remain quiet, Mum, she says. We don't want you to be piggy in the middle, she's talking about. And it is an argument and you're going to be piggy in the middle. Two women by the look of it. So keep quiet, she's saying. I've been listening to somebody, she says, that wanted to go swimming or wants to go swimming. Somebody's been talking about swimming. They need to get out and about, she's saying. Mind you, she's having a bit of a giggle because she's putting a great big rubber ring round them. So I don't know if it's because they're not a very confident swimmer, but she's putting a nice rubber ring. With the swimming, she also says, mind your step. We don't want you slipping. All right, mind your step. We don't want you slipping. So as you walk into the pool, you know what I mean, where it's a bit slippy. She's talking about that. The name Ivy from Spirit wants to say hello to you as well. And also Joe from Spirit wants to say hello to you as well. Hold on to it. She wants to link you with the Isle of Wight. All right, so there's a link to the Isle of Wight. Watch for that. And also she's taken me to Cowes on the Isle of Wight as well. You know the place called Cowes on the Isle of Wight? Hold on to that, not moo cows, Cowes on the Isle of Wight. She's talking about that as well. Now there are two babies in Spirit, she says, that you should know of as well. Your mum's here, she's saying. Your mum wants to say hello. Your mum's cooking you a nice Victoria sandwich cake. She wants me to give you that. She's even sprinkling the icing sugar on the top. You know what I mean? It's going everywhere, to be honest. It's all over the place. She also wants me to give you what's it called? A spotted dick pudding. You know, one of those. She wants me to give you one of those. And also a treacle pud. Your mum wants to give you a treacle pud. You know why it is? It's because they want to try and give you a little bit of sweetness, they're talking about. A little bit of sweetness in your life, they're talking about that. It's all about, she wants to take off the dark stuff that you're wearing and put you in nice bright stuff, like reds and things like that. She's also, your mum is also talking about your eyes. Be aware of your eyes, she's saying. They're getting a little bit tired. You know, those glasses where they're, what they're called? I've even got them, I can't remember what they're called. Bifocals. She wants to put those on you. It's as if when you're looking down, it's the reading bit that she's bothered about, you know what I mean? So watch for that. She's also oh, hang on, she's changed. Tracy down here, do you know where the Tracy is? When you find out, there's something going on around Tracy. And what was the other thing? She says, do you remember the lady that, oh, hang on, shouting at me, Alice as well. The name Alice will mean something to you. There's a lady in Spirit that used to have false teeth and used to take them out and put them in the glass. And she wants to say hello to you. Also Mary in Spirit. You've got lots of people up there just shouting at me saying, can you say hello? Can you say hello? They just want to let you know they're around, especially your daughter and also your mum as well. Apparently they've got a nice bond, your daughter and your mum, they've got a nice bond. They're calling it a cheeky bond. So I think they have a little bit of a dig at each other, a cheeky bond. Keep talking to us, we do hear you, we know what you're saying. You don't have to speak out loud, they're saying, you can just think, and we're there. And if you you obviously know that if you dream about spirit and it's quite vivid and you have this conversation, they're just visiting. And that's what she wants to make sure I tell you, that if you have this conversation, it's a visit. And before she goes, she wants to give you, if she comes around you, this is your mum, by the way, if she comes around you, Lily of the Valley, you'll be able to smell that. Although she's just like a pansies as well, but they don't smell, do they? But you can see the pictures in them, can't you, the faces? And for some reason, there's a memory. She's actually shown me a pansy where it looks as though it's a chap and he's got a beard. Watch for it. All right, if you can't remember it, do you know what? Oh, is he related to you, is he? But he's not a pansy, is he? Not that you know of. But you might see his, perhaps you'll see his picture in the pansy. All right. So she's leaving in love with you. As your daughter likes to play with your hair, by the way. She does this kind of thing. So you might see her doing that or feel her doing that. Blowing your kisses. Okay?
I'm coming to my lady here, if I may, with the glasses. Is that okay? Yeah. I just feel that you're like a busy bee. You know, this is the longest you've sat down in a while. I mean, maybe, this weekend it's been a little bit more relaxed. But it's like I want to sit you down a little bit more often, okay? And I know that your emotions are all going all over the place, and I know you're thinking, oh my God, how can I do this? How can I do this? And this is me. This is what I'm like, so that's obviously why they've connected me to you. I do have a lady that's coming in for you, and as she comes in very, very quiet, very, very soulful. She's a very, very quiet person. And I do feel that I'm on a grandmother link, so I don't know if you would know her, but that's the feeling I'm getting with her. She's quite small. Well, she's a bit taller than me, but she's very, very, what I would call petite. And she just brings this calmness into you, because I know that there's a lot of things around you. I've got 4 things that I've got to just quickly mention, and it's obviously all about timing, isn't it? I've got to say, spiritually, you've opened up, you've got better and wiser and wiser, and I've got to say, keep going, keep going, keep going. But it's all about divine timing. I've got to say that work-wise, there's something that's niggling. Would you understand that? Close your ears. All right. Sometimes we just have to let it go in there, over there and out there. All right. But it's very, very hard because our emotions and our feelings get in the way. Ask Spirit for their help, for the strength, because they're giving me red, which I know is the strength for you. They're talking about an emotional situation here. I'm not going to go into it too detailed because obviously we're public, but I've got to say what's right for you. So just keep that thought with that situation, okay? And the other thing they want to say is happy. Happy, happy, happy. So they want to bring you a lot of happiness. They want to bring you a lot of upliftment. This weekend has been good for you. You might not think that right at this minute, but when you go home, you think, oh, I wish I was here again, and all that kind of thing. So please take all of their love and their support. You have the faith, you have the trust. You now have to just do. And I say, God bless you.
Thank you, Mary Ward and Deb Clarke. Thank you. Just want to say, next Sunday morning we've got Peter Goddard and Shaz Basil. Male.
What here?
Yeah, not here. Wimbledon Spiritualist. That's our stained glass window. It's that part of the glass here. I've got to get repaired. It's about £8,000.
Ray, we can't hear you. Can you put the microphone on, please?
Beautiful glass, and the cross of services, and that's the 4 evangelists, Matthew, Mark, Luke and John. So I have written a book about it, but they'll booklet, and that will come out hopefully soon. So that's, I'm very proud of that window, and those of us of Wombles that we go to church, we love it. So as Ashley gets ready for the naming service, once again I thank Deb Clarke and Mary Ward. Thank you very much for your mediumship. I just want to share a few words with you before we go. It's a poem that I've been reading for a number of years, but I think it's quite beautiful words. If one day you find me gone, and I'm no longer there greeting you the form as you remember, walking through the door, look for me in skies painted blue with the day, in the stars that make the heavens shine, in the scented flames of gorse that crown those hills. See me in the eyes of the one new heart, and there I am in your quietness of your heart. If one day you find me gone and my voice is no longer greeting you from some walk we did together, listen for me in the music of the dawn, in the murmur of the high-wise trees. Listen for me in the quietness of your heart. If one day you find me gone and my arms are no longer there to greet you, feel me in the evening breeze that cools the day, in the touch of our children's hands, in the warmth of our hearts. I am there, closer than ever before. I am there in the quiet of your heart. Yes, if one day you find me gone, know instead that I am there in the quietness of your heart. How can you lose what is eternal? Thank you, friends. We're now going to have the service where Ashley is going to do the naming. I hope you've all enjoyed this morning at Spirit Seeker at Stratford-upon-Avon. I think it's a lovely venue, this. It's better than Bournemouth. Hip hip for Bournemouth. No.
No, but it's colder than Bournemouth was in March.
Yeah, well, it's autumn, that's why. It's once again, I must thank SPTV for their hard work. They're with us every fortnight at Wimbledon Church, and the other times we're on Facebook and YouTube, and especially with SPTV, we're on Facebook and YouTube, and it's a great way of getting our community out into the world. One of the founding fathers, my dad, of LAD Promotion was to take spiritualism back to the people, and we're doing that more than ever. And when Ashley had this idea of putting TV screens around the church, a lot of money spent on electronic goods, microphones, I just thought, bless him. And then COVID came, and we went online, and we did it from home a few times, and we did it on our laptops. SPTV, you all need to support. It brings spiritual community closer, especially if you're at home on your own and you can't get out to a church for whatever reason. Become a patron of SPTV. It brings your form of spiritualism and your spirituality within your own home. And the guys that run SPTV do a fantastic job. Can I just ask for a round of applause for SPTV? So, I don't know who the man who runs it is, I really don't.
You just know about Richard.
Who?
Who?
So, friends, want you to relax. We're now going to I'll hand over to Ashley. I'll just do a closing prayer for this part of the service, then Ashley will come in and conduct the rest of the service. May the Lord bless you and keep you. May the Lord cause his face to shine upon you and be gracious unto you. And may the Lord give you his peace, now and forevermore. Amen.
Amen.
Go out to the world, friends. Take the message of spiritualism everywhere and get the message out. That there is no death. Life continues. From this life to a more abundant life, it continues. And we are never alone. God bless you all, friends, seen and unseen.
Okay. Thank you. Good morning, folks, and thank you for continuing to stay for this part of the service. I'm absolutely thrilled to be conducting 2 naming services today, and I'm delighted you're all here to be with us. 2 for the price of 1. Sarah and Dean, they're taking an opportunity to make a public declaration that they are a spiritualist. Now, you could argue that in this day and age we do that by checking in on Facebook, Spiritualist Church, or a centre, or then when we start to share things about our spiritualism. Because going public with our hobbies, our faith, our belief, to a certain extent, there's an element of vulnerability. And we all have different levels of confidence. When it comes to sports teams, you'll see people like Ivan Lee walking around very clear, his blood is blue, he's a Chelsea boy, and he talks very proudly about his sport. Our faith and belief, you need that same sort of conviction and confidence in being able to talk about that. and actually, as an adult, making a conscious decision to be named within a spiritualist service. It takes that commitment to your own faith and belief. And I'm thrilled that they've asked me to conduct that service. Sarah, would you like to come up first? Now, Sarah, you've not chosen a specific spiritual guardian, but all of us here are going to be witness, and we're going to bear witness. This congregation, seen and unseen today, will continue to love you unconditionally, and we're going to support and inspire you. So there's a number of questions, Sarah, I'm going to put to you as part of this service. Can you just move the mouse for me? That was my little job. Just touch that to the right. There we go. That'll do. We've got the stained glass back. Right. I need a Debbie McGee sort of equivalent. Right. Sarah, will you uphold the equilibrium and respect all living things, including Mother Earth and all that she holds?
Always.
Will you continue to acknowledge the communion of spirits and the ministry of angels?
With every breath of my body.
Let's get some people here. Do you, Sarah, pledge yourself to spiritualism and the divine spirit?
Yes.
Do you believe in the continuous existence of the soul and that you are a spirit having a human experience?
Absolutely.
With this flower, it concentrates all of our thoughts of love upon Sarah as we name her, and she pledges herself to spiritualism. The sunflower which always terses to face the light. Sarah, I pledge and support to you on this spiritual journey. I place the sign of this cross upon you, a sign of protection, and spiritual power and growth will be upon you. I do this in the sure and certain knowledge that being held in the glory of the divine energy, you shall be enabled to live life courageously, faithfully, in love, and abiding in the love of the divine energy, may so life in this life and the world to come, you may have all the life everlasting.
Thank you.
Friends, as some of you may know, it's usual at our naming ceremony to give a spirit name, a name inspired by those in the world of spirits, which has some sort of meaning, something which inspires Sarah in times that she feels the need for extra inner strength and guidance. I give you the name Penelope.
Oh, thank you.
Now, Penelope is the weaver. There is Lady Penelope, the weaver. Greek origin, it translates from the original tongue to the word weaver and can be traced as far back as the ancient Greeks for thousands of years. And may the name continue to be used for the next 1,000 years. So I believe that spiritually speaking, you act as that weaver. You will continue to interface between this world and the life after this life. Lady Penelope was just mentioned there, and Lady Penelope was primarily International Rescue's secret agent stationed in London. I think we've got one of the best secret intelligence services in the world. So we actually know it's not really London, it's the South Coast. And you will continue to be our agent and our ambassador. It's a timeless name that is romantic and arguably adorable, just like you.
Thank you very
I'll give you a
much.
kiss. Thank you.
you.
Thank you. Okay, now just before I invite Dean up, I just want to link the two ceremonies, and there was a last-minute change to the order I was doing this for this reason. So we meet today in the celebration of life, which has entered into this world, and a life with all the potential for survival, spiritual growth, for which is part of a divine heritage. You know that when we use those words and we talk about new life and new life that's entered, there's been a working assumption within baptism naming services and young children that it talks about new human experience. But it also stands for awakening, and it stands for that dedication, it stands for commitment. So regardless of your earthly age, we are all beings, we are all children of the Great Spirit. And we're sharing a ceremony today which is ancient in character and sacred in essence. The ceremony is in recognition of the new life which has come amongst us, and also a continuing life, an awakening of that life, identity and oneness with spirit. Men and women as human beings have always felt the need to be distinguished from one another and known by individual names. This is just as desirable today as it's ever been. It's an important part of that human being, labelling and language. On a good day, We think we've done well for ourselves in that chain of survival, and the food, particularly chain of survival, language, poetry, art, all these amazing things that human beings. But if you think about domesticated animals like a dog, there's no need for language. You can take a dog from any corner of the world and put them in the room together, and after a couple of sniffs, they'll be communicating and engaging straight away. As human beings, the language which separates us, the opportunity to label ourselves, to label things, to use language, can also create barriers. And part of being one with that spirit gives us the opportunities of coming together. And therefore, our spiritualist naming service is therefore an act of thanksgiving for these lives. It's the opportunity for each of us to dedicate ourselves to our own future well-being. So we seek a blessing upon Dean, this man, and Sarah, this woman, and all of you. May we shed radiant light into a world where darkness so often seems to surround us. We particularly focus our unconditional love today for Dean and Sarah. It may be that one of them, both of them, one of us in this room, will continue to lead humans into greater knowledge and understanding. Historically, it's the duty of parents, and then later significant others and guardians, to train younger children in spirits in the ways of spiritual growth. Therefore, throughout our life, no 1, 2, 3 sponsors alone will suffice to support people in this task. And as we become adults, we become less reliant on, dependent on the nurturing aspect of parents and guardians, and we start to include family into our circle. A duty devolves upon us all to share responsibility for the welfare of each other, and today we share for the welfare of Dean and Sarah. Do not therefore neglect our duty, since today's children are the promise of a better world. And as I look around the room, after hearing my wife a couple of minutes ago shouting at a very young human being for disappearing for 10 minutes and not telling us where he was, the opportunity for all of us is to take this path of progress. Surely we desire for every infant, every being, such conditions of development as shall ensure the complete and perfect ripening of its life, which as yet so young and tender. And again, regardless of our earthly age and experience, we all have this opportunity of progression, not just in this life, but in this life, after the change we call death within this life. Spiritualism acknowledges that children of all ages are blossoms of that divine love, a blessing, born in accordance with natural law. They inherit no handicap save that of inexperience. Friends, just join me in a very quick prayer. Divine Spirit, we thank you for the blessings given to this world through the gift of all life, and in particular today, at this service, the lives of Sarah and Dean. May they draw their souls nearer to you all and to each other. May their love and unconditional love around them grow stronger, and their instincts as teachers unfold through love and care. As Dean and Sarah continue to take a daily advancement and a spiritual step, they will continue to grow in years. May they also grow in strength and in wisdom. In the fullness of time, may they continue to be a comfort and help to their friends and family, and to be aware of the nearness of Spirit's messengers throughout their life. Amen. Amen. Now, there are lots of mothers in this room. Dean's mother in particular, Sue. What name did you give to your son on his incarnation and arrival to this world? Dean. The names Dean, Michael, Pender were given. Dean, could you come up and join me, please? I'm going to stand here. Dean, I'd like to give you this sunflower, and as we said, the sunflower always turns to face the light. Using this flower as one of Earth's purest gems, may God bless you and shield you. May Spirit messengers guide you in trouble, comfort you in sorrow, inspire you to search for truth, and may the blessing be with you throughout your life. Dean, you have chosen Sarah, Trudy, and Sue to be your spiritual godparents and guardians. And outside of this service, you wish to be known, they wish to be known to you as your spiritual guardians or godparents, and you, their godson. That's correct? Yeah. So can I have dear Sarah, Trudy, and Sue to come up, please? Okay, just come and stand over there for a minute. If you can hold your sunflower in the palm of your hand. and the palm of your hand. Thank you very much. Just going to move over to one side. Okay, stand my back. Can we move in a little bit, just so that everyone can see? Okay. Okay, so I'm going to address, Dean, your guardians, your choice of godparents first, and then I have some questions for you. Guardians, godparents. I want you to answer these questions without reservation, pledging yourselves today in the presence of this congregation, both seen and unseen, to act as guardians and godparents in an additional capacity to Dean. Okay?
Yes.
Godparents, will you encourage Dean with his spiritual and moral upbringing as he journeys towards his life's goals? Will you help teach Dean to respect all life, both seen and unseen, including the animal kingdom, Mother Earth, and all those he encounters upon his journey? Will you show Dean to embrace diversity, all religions and creeds, including the culture and gender of others, and to be non-judgmental of the choices that other people make? Will you teach Dean that there is personal responsibility for all deeds, actions taken, and consequences for those deeds and actions? And finally, as godparents, repeat with me. We, the spiritual guardians of Dean, promise and swear, from this day forth, to be a moral example, that he can follow and emulate. We will protect Dean with love in our hearts and offer our guidance when he needs it, even if he doesn't want to hear it, and especially when he needs it.
Only when he needs it.
Amen. Now, Dean, as an adult making a choice for naming service today, I have some questions for you as well. Dean, will you uphold the equilibrium and respect all living things, including Mother Earth and all that she holds?
I will.
Will you continue to acknowledge the communion of spirits in the ministry of angels?
I will.
Will you recognise and appreciate that you have personal responsibility and the freedom of choice?
I will.
And do you, Dean, pledge yourself to spiritualism and the divine spirit, believing in the continuous existence of the soul and that you are a spirit having a human experience?
I will.
The flower that I have given you, concentrate all of our thoughts of love upon you, Dean, today, as we name and pledge yourself, and you pledge yourself to spiritualism. So mote it be. These flowers that I've asked godparents to hold in their hands give us the opportunity, as chosen symbols of grace, to concentrate all of our thoughts of love upon this man as we name him and his guardians pledge themselves to him. Okay, godparents, you can sit down.
Thank you.
Dean, you stay up here with me.
And they do. They do exactly what they've been told to do.
So, as some of you now know for sure, within spiritualism there's the opportunity to give a name inspired from the world of spirit, which has meaning for the child, the adult, the emerging adult on that spiritual journey. And this name is someone and something which should inspire you in times that you feel the need for inner strength and guidance. And I'm inspired to give you the name Donatello. Now, Donatello is a simple meaning, and be very careful about the context of this, because with this name comes great responsibility. Donatello means gift from God. I think I read that on the toilets once. Donatello is a boy's name, and it's in Italian and Spanish origins. It means given and gift from God. It's a beautiful way to use the name Donatello to express gratitude for arrival. And Donatello is lyrical, romantic, and dances off the tongue. Now, Donatello, or Don, or Donnie, is also one of the 4 main Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. And as a member of the Teenage Mutant Turtles, he was the son of Master Splinter, who showed that within the animal kingdom there are opportunities for us to progress and all. He was the younger brother of Leonardo and Michelangelo. And you have the name Michelangelo. It's unclear whether or not his third brother, Raphael, was older or no, I couldn't work that out. It was 1980s, it was a long time ago. But his best friend was April O'Neil. Now, Donatello was regarded as the brains of the team. And he wore purple, a very spiritual colour held sincerely within this family. He was the inventor. He creates all of the gadgets from the simplest of things, including his bow staff and their incredible vehicles. And there's opportunities around transition and finding ways to contextualise our spiritualism to take it forward. Very important, and I don't know if you ever watched the Turtles, but the Turtles lived underground Donatello had to make most of his inventions from the things that he could find. He was one of those sort of early MacGyvers, and he would take things from the rubbish bin or the trash can, as my kids would say, I'm very American, and he would find ways to innovate, to use what he had in front of him to make life better. And as part of your opportunity, your development, this name Donatello makes you the brains of that opportunity. Your decision and your commitment to do what you've done now. I hope Donatello gives you some strength. Yeah, just wait there. And I place the sign of the cross on you. May it guide you, protect you, bring you that strength, courage, and wisdom. Know that today, as you've done, witnessed in front of this congregation, you have named yourself as a spiritualist, and we are proud to welcome you into that family as well. Congratulations. Folks, that brings us to the end of this naming service. As a spiritualist celebrant, I'm on probation till December, where hopefully I'll be ordained. Maybe jokes about writing on the toilet walls in front of my mentor and father wasn't the best of brightest of ideas. But I do think, as I said, with Donatello and with Michael and with Sarah, all of us bring our own individuality to this. And I think that while so much is still misunderstood, part of today's naming service and asking for the inspiration of the names is that with our free will and our own uniqueness gives us the opportunity to be authentic. And I encourage you to be as authentic as you want to be and to get out of bed and bring all of you to your day. Bring as much as you need to for those involved in professional work that enables that life. To pursue happiness, to have those experiences, to go out and make those experiences. And if you're lucky, you'll do that while surrounded by unconditional love. You'll do these things you love with people that you love as part of widening that opportunity and widening that experience. Ladies and gentlemen, friends and family, thank you.